What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and we are talking about the main event of the evening between Curtis Razor Blaydes and Alexander Drago Volkov. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be an intense fight. I can't wait for this fight, honestly. Big favorite in Curtis Blaydes. Volkov coming off of a really hard fight against Greg Hardy, harder than it should have been. Harder than it should have been to come in and fight Curtis Blaydes, who's probably top three scariest heavyweights right now. Especially with that brutal beating of Overeem. Like he looked like he almost killed Alistair Overeem in there. He's a monster. So with Curtis Blaydes, I want to break down a couple of things that I've seen watching him. So Blaydes obviously improved striking. He knocked out Junior Dos Santos. Solid power, big power, honestly. Really good wrestling. He throws straight punches too on the feet. Is something I like. He's patient, and when he gets you down, he will beat your ass, bro. He's not gonna hold you. He's gonna beat the shit out of you. He's a monster. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's a monster. He's gonna pound you out, and he's gonna try to beat you up bad. He's not a guy who just wants a decision. Now Volkov, he's been taken down in the past, which is a con that I wrote down. And he's very tall, which is gonna be a little bit tricky, I believe, for Blaydes at first. But Blaydes is not a short guy. He's 6'4". So I don't think it'll be a huge difference. If Blaydes was 6'1", I'd say this is going to be a big problem. Now he's coming off of the kind of lackluster, not lackluster. I guess I'm going to say lackluster. It was a lackluster performance when your name is Drago. It's a lackluster performance when you want to be the heavyweight champ against Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy's all right. He's tough. He trains hard. I respect him. But if Curtis Blaydes fought Greg Hardy, I don't think that fight would end well at all. Volkov went 3 rounds and got touched. That's something. That's something we got to consider. So for Volkov, pretty much my thoughts are this: if he shows up looking like how he did against Greg Hardy, he's gonna get smashed. Now, if he shows up how he looked against Fabricio Verdum, he's gonna lose. He's gonna get beat up, but he's gonna be competitive and he's gonna scrap. He's gonna go some rounds. If he shows up how he did against Greg Hardy, it's not gonna be a good outcome for him. He's got good kickboxing. I will give him credit. I mean, when he's on his game. But against Greg Hardy, man, I wasn't impressed, man. I was not impressed by how he fought. Now Greg Hardy has some pop, so maybe he was just worried about that, but he didn't look that great, to be 100% honest with you. Whereas Blaydes looked phenomenal against Junior Dos Santos. So this one for me is kind of like, what round does Blaydes stop him in? Blaydes is gonna beat him up, and I think that we're gonna get a tough Volkov coming in, but he's gonna lose. I don't see Blaydes losing this fight, man. I don't see it happening. I feel like Blaydes is really gonna work him good and make his claim for being very close to a title shot. He's probably right there if the division wasn't all confused right now. If he wouldn't already fought Francis twice, I think that would have been the match. I mean, I don't think they should have done the rematch. They should have saved it, but instead, hey, they did the rematch, and now you cancel the possibility of them fighting again because people don't like to see a guy who beat a guy twice by knockout fight him again, which I totally understand. But Curtis Blaydes is game, and he's probably the only guy that's really a big threat to Ngannou right now. Obviously, besides whoever the champion will be between Stipe and Cormier. I think it's going to be Curtis Blaydes beating up Volkov. I think he stops him. I believe he stops him in the third round. It could be as soon as the second, but I'm assuming that Volkov's gonna come pretty ready to fight. But I think he's gonna get beat up either way. I'm actually gonna go with the second or third round. If you have to pick a round, I tend to just go safe and say third. But I think Blaydes works him in the second and ground and pounds him out. He might even knock him out on the feet. Volkov in the past, if you look back at his record, he fought in Strikeforce. He's lost to guys that are not nearly as good as Curtis Blaydes at grappling, or excuse me, at wrestling. Maybe they're good jiu-jitsu guys, but he was dominated by Jack Congo, back in the day, lost the fight to Tony Johnson. And Curtis Blaydes is much more than those guys. Now, granted, he's definitely improved since then, but Curtis Blaydes is a level above, and he's a pretty strong favorite. I would put money on him. I'd be willing to risk money with Curtis Blaydes. He's a guy that I really think is gonna win the fight. It's hard to see him losing. I mean, unless he really got caught, but he's got a good chin. I mean, Ngannou didn't put him flat out. Ngannou hurt him and the ref stopped it. But he wasn't stiff. He was still awake. And he's taken shots in the past. So a guy with a good chin versus a guy coming off a unanimous decision win, who usually is more of a late stoppage guy with volume, versus a guy that's, just a specimen. It's Curtis Blaydes all day. He gets it done. I cannot wait for this fight. Thank you guys so much for watching. stay tuned. I got the post-fight stuff definitely coming out, either the night of or the day after the fights. Thank you guys, and I will see you in those post-fight shows.